So my drinking got out of control when I got money. And then...
That could happen.
Yeah. That's the clip. That's the clip. When you fucking advertise this podcast, that is the clip.
That's it.
That was fucking perfect.
Yep.
That can happen.
Hey, welcome back to Hotboxin. I'm Jeremy Piven.
And I'm Mike Tyson.
And we are honored to have the great Bill Burr here with us
Brother
tonight,
Burr.
smoking a Cuban, living his
Right.
dream.
This is the greatest. This is the most cameras I've ever seen on a podcast in my life.
And you've got
more cameras than people.
you've got your own podcast. You're a big shot.
I know, but I do it like, I just have like a little mixer and I don't do it like this.
Where you from, Bill?
I grew up outside of Boston.
Yeah, what part?
Safe suburbs.
Yeah.
Super white, cul-de-sacs, street hockey, Canton, Mass.
Fuck, Whitey Bulger, baby.
Yeah. No, see, that was in town.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh wait, all the places where they make the movies. I was not from there. I wasn't from there. All of that stuff that they've made, all these great Boston movies. I was in the safe suburbs. So yeah.
Okay.
Mike was asking me your breakthrough, and obviously everyone's got a different take on it. For me, as an outsider, it's when you got up in Philly and it wasn't going well, and there was kind of a massive tailgating
Yeah, it wasn't
party.
going that well.
Yeah, and there were great comics that were up before you, and they weren't doing well, and you just decided to call this audience out in a rant that is legendary.
That's the myth. That's the myth of what happened. What really happened was the first guy went up, and he got booed. But it was the summertime, and it was like an amphitheater. So there was like seats and then like lawn seats. It was right outside of Philly, and the first guy went up, and I don't know, say the place holds 5,000 people. There was maybe 400 sitting down, and then there was another like 200 just milling around. And they were like, "Okay, here's your first guy," and he just walked out there like, "What the fuck?" So he got booed. Then it was sort of like the tone was kind of set, but everybody was doing okay, but wasn't having a good time because you saw the first guy get booed. So it's just like, oh, this is an option. So then like 2-3 hours after that, that's when I went on, and it was after a break, and I can't remember. It was so long ago.
It was hot.
They showed some fucking weird video of a guy had pus coming out of his ears, and some guy ate it, and this other guy puked, and then they started the fucking show back up again. It was gross. And I don't even remember. I think Bobby went up and did good, and then Dom got booed a little bit, and then I went on and, my first joke, I fucked it up, and that's why I started to get booed, and then I snapped. But all of that shit of like, I was like, I was going to go out there and tell these people to go fuck themselves. That didn't happen. I went out there, I was trying to have a good set.
Yeah.
I was trying to have a good set. It didn't happen.
What is it that you believe makes you different?
Oh. I don't know. And I would be afraid to analyze that. Because if I did, then I would think that I would be thinking about that rather than just reacting to whatever was in front of me or saying what I wanted to say.
I've got information that you're a conspiracy man.
I am, but I also am like oddly, it depends on the conspiracy.
Well, you tell me one of yours.
Okay. Anything that has to do with bankers, that it's just like if you started a Ponzi scheme or I started, you started a Ponzi scheme, we're going to jail. But those guys' Ponzi scheme gets to continue on and on and on, and every time it shits the bed and everybody loses everything, they do that shit, we're just too big to fail. I know it's been a while since I got into it because I kind of became that guy that was bumming everybody out.
So you don't know you're not bumming me out. So how do you feel about the banks? What do you think?
I don't think I'm smart enough to really understand it. I don't get why does it have to be gold behind our money? Why does it have to have value? As long as I respect $20 and you respect $20, why can't this just be magical paper? Like, why does there have to be something behind it?
It's all about control, brother. If you're a conspiracy junkie, you know it's all about control. It's all about getting the most you can out of them and giving them the less they deserve. It's all about slavery, and it has nothing to do with economics or color, but it's just, that's what it is. You're
So
doing
you
what
think
you
it's
don't
all
want.
about slavery? So then then they work it in racially, like
No.
you don't think it's
no.
like an airline with like sky miles?
No.
How they have Group 1, Group 2, Group 3,
I just think that we're all.
Diamond Medallion.
No, we're all slaves to something. We're all slaves to something. Some money, some religion.
I'm a slave to these fucking things. I
Yeah.
keep trying to quit.
Some cigarettes, some cocaine. We're all slaves.
Yeah.
We're all initiative. We're born slaves. We all have slave characteristics that makes us slaves.
It's uplifting.
But Mike, you used to have that because you were taken advantage of, and you've evolved, and it's a different game for you now.
I agree that, you know. I do agree that, but that doesn't mean it's over for everyone else.
No.
I only succeed when I help other people succeed.
Right.
If I'm the only one to succeed, then I'm a failure.
Now, how long did it take you to figure that out? Like, is that something you felt you always knew, or did you?
No
As-
fucking way.
No
Right.
way.
No fucking
So when
way.
did you, like, when did that light come on? Like,
I know
wait a minute.
around 3 years ago, my wife inspired me to liberate myself from myself, pretty much.
How long was that conversation? That's amazing. No, that's amazing. No, because I'm trying to let go a lot of shit myself.
You can do it whenever you want to. That's one thing that's interesting about life. You could change your mind and change who you want to be whenever you want.
Because my thing is, what gets me is this. My life's work is my temper, and I come
But
from a rage family
Family.
tree.
But he's
Right.
figured out how to navigate that artistically,
Let's hear
and
it.
it's a little different than most who are slaves.
Yeah, but I'm talking about real life, like being not just up on stage, like at home. Like I don't want to be flipping out. Like I don't want my kids to be scared of me the way I was scared of my dad. So my kids aren't scared of me, which is the the success so far. But like I figured out because I came from the sit down and shut the fuck up. That's how adults talk to you. Yes, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kids are to be seen and not heard, okay?
Yeah. So I
I'm from
think
that background.
when shit starts to not go my way, I feel like no one's gonna hear me. It's embarrassing to say this out loud. I'm 52.
Nomism. They call it nomism.
What is that?
When you feel nothing. You feel like you're not heard.
Yeah, so when,
Nomism.
that can be literally trying to figure out the operating system on my phone, or like my wife, if I say, hey man, we got to be there by 2 or 3 o'clock, and we get there at 10 past 3, and there's that thing, I don't know, it just
You
like,
need some emotional training. You know what I mean?
dude, I need a lot.
You need some
It's a
emotional
lot.
intelligent training. You
Well,
know?
I just went
There's
back
a
to
book that
therapy.
says emotional
Yeah,
intelligence
good.
for people just like that. They're not, slaves to their emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I used to be one of those people.
Well, that's
Everybody
a great way
was
of
my
putting it.
enemy, but me. Life is interesting, being a conspiracy theory.
Okay, I got a conspiracy for you.
All right, go for it.
I think that water in nature is the toxic waste left over from the last people that fucked this shit up, and then we grew out of it, and to us, it's delicious. Water's delicious, and then
I
then
go
I
ahead.
think once we're dead and we're all gone, I think the next people are going to be eating plastic, like it's apples, and it's going to be delicious to them. I'm sure there's a lot of holes in that, but
There
that's,
seems to be a couple holes in the nutritional value of plastic.
no, but the
That-
next people though. The
That
next
means
people.
you. That
Okay.
means you.
They'll live off the nuclear waste and all of that.
Mr. Burr.
Okay.
So that
I know you
means-
don't believe me. I
No,
saw it
no.
in your eyebrow. Do you
But
see
you're
how his
talking-
eyebrow
are
went
you
up
a-
like that?
Are
He's
you
going,
atheist?
do I know what?
Are you atheist?
Does that mean I don't believe in a higher power?
Well, that's what you're speaking as if you don't believe in God. I don't know about no higher power. You don't
I
believe
am
in God.
confused with that right now in my life
Yeah, why is that?
because
This is
I
what I
don't.
think is
I
interesting.
don't understand why God doesn't take credit for His work. Like, why does He make sociopaths and then punish them?
Who said he punished them?
Well, going to hell and all of that shit. I'm Catholic. What
I
did they
know.
tell you? What'd you grow up?
Listen, I used to be a Catholic, but listen, I'm holding my buttons and I go past the graveyard and all that crap. But when you really look at what do you really think about God? Forget your religion. What do you think about Him? Hum, the elements of what it is.
I don't think He's mad. And I don't think you get judged for what you did. I don't.
So he told you, so you think you're navigating your life now? You think he has nothing to do with you being here, you being the funny man that you are?
Yeah, see, that's the thing, because I feel that, like, if I do good things happen. There's definitely these laws. See, my thing about religion is I think that people came up because they couldn't explain how we got here. So I think everybody has these theories that turned into religion, and then there's elements. It's like if you're a conspiracy theory, you got enough conspiracy, one of them has got some truth in it. But like, I think all religions are inherently flawed because they were made by people who are alive. So they don't know the biggest answer, which is what happens to you after you die. So that's like the biggest guessing game. And I needed a whole new reprogramming. So what I wanted to do was, I went the other way. This is all bullshit. People made it up. You die, you go into the ground. I went through that. And now, since then I had kids, it's just, there's no way to describe it unless you had a kid. And then I'm just like, there's got to be something. There's something beyond this. There is something beautiful behind all of this control of.
So what are you talking about? The Wizard of Oz? Yeah, that sounds like the Wizard of Oz. There's something
but
behind. Right? That
doesn't-
sounds like the Wizard of Oz. There's something behind.
Pull the
it.
curtain, meet the wizard.
Yeah, I like this. We're dealing
Yeah,
with
but
the
don't you?
Wizard of Oz.
But religion is inherently that too.
Huh?
There's this guy. He's watching you. He's
Oh, so
hanging
listen,
out.
No, but check this out. I know religion has its flaws. I'm with you 100%.
Okay.
But how do you think we would be without it? You think we would be better off? Really, you think? Imagine us thinking.
No,
for
I don't think. I
ourselves.
don't think you need to go all the way the other way when now there's no judgment and blah blah blah. The bullshit that I'm was at. I think that if there was a
No. Since you think it's so bad, just say, what do you think? It should be no religion.
no, I don't think that. I think
Or it
that
shouldn't be no Catholic religion.
no. It's like you're looking at an old house that needs to be redone. You don't need to tear it down. You just need to upgrade it.
I don't know.
What about spirituality, Mike? There's spirituality, your connection with God, without being in any one of these religions.
I don't know. It's spirituality, but spirituality comes from religion pretty much.
It doesn't have to.
You know.
You know.
So you dictating your own show then. All these rules are my rules now. So I'm spirituality. So I'm pretty much a prophet or else I'm God. Since I'm going through a spiritual perspective, and it's my spiritual perspective, why don't I write a few lines in the book or something? Matter of fact, why don't I make up my own book?
People have made up their own book.
Yeah, but it's,
I'm sitting over here. I'm the Jewish guy.
I knew it.
You knew it. He smelled the Jew. The ginger smelled the Jew. It's a good
An old
children's
Mark Maron
it's a-
joke. I'm
it's-
fucking with you. Breaking balls. I miss it.
Yeah. I mean, like, looking at you, your last special, from an outsider, you're crushing it. You're fearless, saying what you want to say. And at the end of all that, and you're in London, and you're relating to a culture that you don't necessarily have a great reference for because you didn't grow up there. And at the very end, you're there with your kid, and this will sound like I'm not kissing your ass. I'm just being honest. But there was something about it that really struck me. At the very end with the credits, and you're there with your kid, and it's that silhouette of you guys in the back. You brought your
Yeah,
kid.
Royal Albert Hall. Yeah.
how you feel about that?
It looked like someone. I don't want to say who has it all, but you've had figured some stuff out.
No, I did. No, I definitely figured stuff out. That's why I'm trying to figure out how to come back to a higher power thing, trying to figure out my temper and all of that. I mean, I just, there's something wrong with you if you have a kid and it doesn't change you. It doesn't make you look at yourself and be like, well, I got a lot to work on. Because, there was a lot of stuff I didn't like about myself. And then when I had a kid, I was like,
you
oh my
see it in
God.
your kid.
I feel like, yeah, I'm contagious.
And you think, no,
It's like, I don't want to,
No,
I don't want to
you
pass
don't-
this shit.
You don't
on
think
to
you
them.
could take, you just thought you could hide something. You know?
No.
We like secrets.
I have a temper, man. You can't hide that. Like if I was,
Oh, no, we're not hiding your temper. We're hiding the cause of the temper.
Well, if I could I'm trying to figure out what is the cause of it.
Oh, you know the cause of it, brother. Oh, don't start that. Why am I mad? Why? I know you know why you mad. Why are you mad? Who hurt you?
Oh, yeah, but that's what I just figured out. But for years, when I would yell at my phone, I thought I hated technology.
Oh, this guy's
It had
clever.
nothing to do with your phone.
No, I'm
He's
serious.
clever.
I'm being totally honest. That's
No, you're not. You silly dude.
no, you know what it is. No, the thing is you're more evolved. You've worked on yourself more. So you think I'm where you're at. I'm not. So I'm learning shit from you right now. I'm not trying to be clever. I'm being totally honest. Like, you know how many times I've said that? I fucking hate technology. Technology kept me alive. I had a ruptured appendix. I don't hate technology. I just get frustrated with shit. And I have this.
This is what you hate. You hate this phone.
It's an aggressive therapy session.
You hate this phone. You don't hate technology. You just hate this phone, okay? This phone.
It's too light out. It's the afternoon to go into my demons here. Smoking a cigar, man. I feel like this is my last cigar
Let's
here.
Sigmund Freud him, man. Let's Sigmund Freud him.
Fuck, man.
I don't know if we should drag him into deep waters.
Yeah, I see this is the good cop over here. You get Piven over here like, hey, I saw your special. I really enjoyed it. And you're like, you know why you're angry, motherfucker. It's just like, Jesus Christ. I want to fucking sit here and smoke a cigar, Mike.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Bill, you know that Mike had a one-man show. Did you know that?
I loved it.
Okay. What'd you love about it?
There was a couple things that really struck me as performance and a sports fan, where you were talking about, you were in a fight, I think it was Holyfield, and you were getting hit by this guy, and you said, maybe this was an interview. I've watched so much of your stuff, but I think it was a one-man show. No, I think it was an interview. You said you were going, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And I thought that was so amazing that you would think that. I would be thinking like, oh my God, end this. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here. And you're just thinking like, what the fuck is going on right now? Why is he hitting me and I'm not hitting him? That you could be that clear in the middle of that when you have a world-class athlete in front of you, teeing off on you, trying to knock you out, that you could be relaxed enough to think,
That's what fighting's about. That's what acting and fighting is about. It's all about relaxation. The most relaxed actor is the best actor. The most relaxed fighter at that moment is the best fighter.
That's true. And then the story you told, and I remember when that happened, was somehow you ran into the dude you were going to fight before you fought him, and you punched him in the head, and he's somehow running after the limo or something like that. Like, I heard the full story of that. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, that to me was like, it made, when I watched it, it reminded me of like Charlie Murphy had stories like that, where it was just like, you're just like, this can't be real, but the details, you know it's true.
Listen, right? Listen. When I was fighting the screen, right, this guy, he was on Angel Dust. And I was wondering why I was hitting this guy, and he was like moving, but he wouldn't hit the ground. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? My hand is hurting like a motherfucker.
Right.
And
You tase him, he's ripping it out of his chest.
yes, I hit him. Boom! I hit him with a shot, and he was out. Right.
Right.
So I get back in the car, and I said, all right, let's go. And next thing you know, he busted came. It's just like Jason. Boom, no. He got up, and I'm in my car, and he breaks. I'm in a Rolls Royce at the time, and he breaks the fucking the side view mirror. The mirror, what's the side view mirror?
Yeah.
He breaks it off, and I tell my friend, 1 minute, please. I go out, I fucking beat the shit out of him. Boom! I hit him. His head hit the fucking concrete. I said, oh shit. You know when people head hit the car, boop, you hear that shit like. Oh shit! So I got in the car and I said, "Let's get the fuck out of here." But man, when I saw in the morning he was awake and he was just really fucked up.
I remember that picture in the paper.
I was like, "Wow, he's glad he didn't die." Shit.
So did you guys ever talk about that? Did you ever run into him again and say, "Hey,
No,
sorry about the curb"?
No, listen. The next time after that I ran into him, like, you would think that he'd be scared to fuck with me. And he saw me. I'm in there. I'm hanging out. The people have, like in Harlem, the people have the chairs outside and in the restaurant. He said, "You fucking bitch." They go, "You Cicely Tyson motherfucker," in front of hundreds and thousands of people. I said, "Oh fuck." He's just he had no. He is a born again Christian now, but back then he had no self-respect. He didn't care. He had a jury curl. Remember that guy in Last Dragon? Come on, you remember the Last Dragon, the movie? That guy had the Jerry curl. You know, he looked just like him.
I think he had the last Jerry curl, the guy you fought.
Yeah.
Literally.
Jerry curl was great for boxing because when a guy would take a stiff right,
Yeah.
the product would come out of his hair.
Right.
But
And
sometimes
it
that
like
shit get in your
enhanced,
eye,
It was
though. But it
fantastic.
enhanced
but it
the
gets
punch.
in your eye
Yeah.
sometimes. You can't see shit, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Jerry curl and shit.
So, Mike, you said everything changed for you. You were terrified and you were so scared. And then you realized they were more scared of you. And that empowered you.
Oh,
And what
absolutely.
Bill was just talking about when Evander was hitting you, was that one of the first times that you thought, oh, wait, maybe he's not more scared of me? There was a
No.
moment where it flipped. And that's why you
No.
were like, what in God's name is happening?
I didn't know what was happening because he was clashing me with his head.
Oh, shit.
You know,
Okay.
I'm saying, what are these-
Headbutting you.
But I'm saying, where are these punches coming from? And I've seen these shits, right?
Right.
And that where it basically came from.
Got it.
Hey, what's the first car you bought when you made it?
When I made a Rolls Royce.
So that was the car?
No, that's one of them. That wasn't the first one, but that was
How much
one
does
of
a side view mirror cost on a Rolls Royce?
them. I don't know, because like 9,000 back then, something like that. Probably.
So he kind of deserved the
Huh?
curb on a little way. Maybe not the curb.
Hey, listen,
Head should have hit the sidewalk if there's a little bit of grass.
I don't know. He has decimated it.
It's just so vivid. Like, dude, fights are like, I don't know. You know, I actually learned a lot about comedy watching a fight one time.
Fight is comedy.
Yeah, I saw two guys spill out of a bar. I was walking home from a club, and I saw these two guys spill out, and they were, posturing, but you could tell neither one of them wanted to fight. But all their friends were there, so neither one could back down, so they were both scared. And I was watching it from across the street. I was crying, laughing. I didn't know anybody there, and I was crying, laughing. It just struck me that, like, true comedy is like, if you were experiencing it, it's not funny. But if you're watching it, like, the shit is hilarious. Like, maybe I'm explaining this wrong. Like, truth is funny. Like, their fear
Listen.
is fucking
That's so
fucking
interesting that you're
hilarious.
saying that. It can always go another way. That one of these guys could have a fight and kill the other guy, and he has a family and people that love him, and he has to leave them now because of that one moment of ridiculousness. That 1/10 of a
I know, but if you saw these two guys, that was not going to happen. They were built like me. That was a couple
Then
of
they should never
guys
go
who
to-
shop at the
They
Gap.
should never go to the bar again.
No, they shouldn't. It was just two ego who weren't going to back down, and they were just hoping the other guy was going to walk away, and they didn't. And next thing you know, they're standing outside the bar with their Gap jeans. It was just funny.
So did you take that and run with it? I mean,
You're a comedian. They're comedians are dark people out here, huh?
it can
You
be.
stand-up guys.
What do you mean? Talk shit about people?
No, it's here you got dark with your endurance in life. Most comedians, stand-up guys,
Do what?
what they endured in life.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I mean, compared to what you went through, yeah, I had a good time.
I feel that.
I mean, I'm going to sit there and tell you about the pain of my childhood after the shit you went through. I can't do that.
Pain is pain. It's relevant.
Yeah, you can't compare.
It's relevant.
Yeah, but you do. It makes you feel better. You know? Like you just see somebody, I don't know, stand on the side of the highway wearing like a Christmas sweater, fucking begging for money. I saw this guy the other day. I didn't give him money because he had on the Christmas sweater. I'll be honest with you. I just thought it was odd. Well, first of all, he had his back to me and he was clearly counting money. And he turned around, he had gold earrings on in this Christmas sweater. He was asking for money. And I was thinking, like, what kind of homeless guy has a wardrobe, like, appropriate for the holidays for him to come around and beg? So I didn't give him the money.
But I mean, did you look at a perspective that you would have gave from if you want some kind of blessing from God, just knowing that you gave in a good perspective?
I did not think that.
You only think about your feelings, and you only can feelings control your thinking.
He's doing it again.
I'm not saying shit. No,
No,
You were saying he was manipulating you. with
no
the sweater.
way. Get out of here. I'm asking about what kind of people do what he does. I just,
Yeah.
I don't even know what I do anymore. I just did a tour standing next to freeways in Texas. I did 8 nights, 16 shows. I had a great time, but it was like, I felt like I was tailgating for the week. It was a,
Why do you feel tailgated?
huh?
Why did you feel like you were tailgated?
Because I was outside and it was cold. And I
Yeah.
was wearing like winter clothes.
But you were performing outside?
Yeah,
Yeah.
next to highways. Like, so the first show was always during rush hour, so you had to like yell over the traffic.
So it was heavy lifting and kind of like the early days.
It was hard to get to lock in with them
Yeah.
during the first shows.
With the people?
Yeah, because you gotta hear where their rhythm is, then you got to get in with it, then you can take them on a ride. And it was like outside, there was these skyscrapers and the laughs were kind of going up. So I kept going, you guys having a good time? And then their response was, and then I had to be like, okay, this is one of these shows where I can't hear them, but I just have to know that they're having a good time. So I sort of slowed down a little bit and was able to get through it. But I mean, but the positive side was the fact that people care enough about comedy or coming to my show that they would sit next to a highway with planes landing. It was like Final Approach to like Love Field and shit.
People need to laugh now more than ever.
Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that shit was pretty funny yesterday, though.
Do you love what you do?
I do, and I miss it. And I miss
You
it.
don't do it as much because of this?
Yeah, I mean, I still do it as much as I can, but it's like, you know, one of the gigs I do, it's like, it's a parking lot show, so people like sitting in cars. So you kind of have to adjust to the rhythm of that. Like, okay, they're flicking the lights, so I guess they're enjoying this.
That's the stuff my wife like going to like drive-ins and stuff. We would go see a show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Well, hopefully this vaccine's going to work. We'll see.
You know, once I became a thespian, I realized I would perform anywhere. I would perform pig shit. And it only has to be one person there, but somebody has to be there. That's what I get. I get soft doing that.
You love it.
I'm ashamed that I do.
Why would you be ashamed?
I just want to be out there in front of people talking shit and talking about me and letting people look at me and all that shit. That's just really interesting stuff, right?
Yeah, no, but your one-man show was good.
Yeah.
I saw Chaz Palminteri do it.
Yeah.
I said, baby, I think I could do that. He was so breathtaking when he did it. He has inspired me. It was just
That's
awesome.
great. Yeah, man. I remember coming to see you, and you were having so much fun. He started going off script, started improvising, and he's got his wife in his ear, and she's saying,
And sometimes
"Get
if
back on track."
sometimes if I'm flirting with a good head, they stop being an asshole, okay? In my ear.
I don't think I could ever do a set if my wife was in my ear.
you
Oh,
imagine?
every now and then there's very attractive
No, my wife
girls.
is hilarious.
Oh,
My wife would be
God.
making me laugh. She would be going like, "Oh, that joke killed, huh? What do you think? You're special now?" Huh? She was, I don't know. She'd come up with something.
Running commentary. No,
Yes.
his wife is keeping him on track.
Yeah, my wife is the shit.
Oh, man. One day I must have did something, we were arguing, and she just left. She left me up there by myself. Oh, shit.
And then
I
how
like
did
how
that,
you said I must have did something. You know you did
Yeah.
something.
Fuck, she just left me up there.
How did it go?
It went great because I was lying, talking about stuff, but it went great. But I can't believe she did that. So I learned to memorize this.
You could have opened with that
Huh?
and just say, usually my wife's talking in my ear, but I pissed her off, so you guys are going to get a freestyle show.
Oh,
They would have gone
God.
nuts.
Oh,
Because that's
God.
something that I learned early on, is you have to address the
I'm
situation.
panicking too. I'm up there panicking, saying I should have said that.
Yeah. No, anytime that happens, if you just address what is going on,
Ooh,
like
God.
They love it.
Yeah, and it breaks the 10. Then it feels like special. Like like you know, you did a sitcom. You know, like they didn't like when you got the line right. It's when you screwed up. Then they felt like, oh man, I really am behind the scenes. If you just had a show
Right.
like a taping, and though everybody like hit their mark and everybody said their line and it all worked, they're like, you know, they didn't interact. I didn't get to see the screw ups. I could have just watched this at home. They want to see like the inner workings of it. Like, cut. Why are you standing there? You got to be over there. And
Are
Right.
you talking about we gonna hear about you producing some shit?
yeah,
You talking about some producing shit? You produce some stuff now?
I got I started a podcast network that has now turned into like TV and hopefully a film. I wrote a film with a buddy of mine, and we're looking like we're going to sell it. And so All Things Comedy is going to produce it. And yeah, we started to do that.
I want to be in movies. I want to be in your film, dude.
Oh, I would definitely get a
Find
part in that.
something for me. You can imagine me doing some shit.
Can I just tell you that, I've been mixing up with Mike for a little bit, and he is on time, and he's ready to go, and he walks in singing, and,
Thank you.
he's ready to go.
Absolutely.
What, he was
Listen,
agent now? Listen to you. It's just in your blood.
He's seen it. Now, look, he's fucking
still in
with you.
character.
Listen,
I can't shake it.
You can't help it. You can't help it.
listen, leave him alone.
Listen, you give him a back end deal. You don't even have any. You don't even need
leave him
skin in the
alone.
game. You don't even skin in the game,
alone.
and you're fucking negotiating for his fucking part, man. That's hilarious.
Listen, you appreciate the truth. I have to have
That is
his back.
fucking- Did you see
No,
what he was just
you know
doing?
what, Bill? To be honest with you, I was
Leave him
I was
alone,
pretty blown away. That's what it was. I couldn't believe it was happening. Comes in singing earlier than anybody.
Yeah, man.
But listen, I think you guys should work something out. I don't want 10%, but
The greatest thing about like stand-up comedy is it's one of the, like, if you go to prison, it's hard to get a job, but like you can walk out of prison and do an open mic within the first week, and people will put you on. They won't give a shit. Dude, they'd be like, dude, you should wear your fucking orange jumpsuit. You killed somebody? Dude, you should talk about that. That'd be funny. Like, they wouldn't give a fuck. I thought you were laughing. You were fucking yawning over here.
No, the mushrooms are fucking
mushrooms.
killing me, man. You know
I knew
that
it wasn't
too,
just weed. I was
Yeah.
just like, there's no way I'm taking a hit off of that. There's
right?
something going on here.
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
You know how fucked up this is? He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
Man, don't be like my wife. My wife is like Dick Patrol, man. Don't be like checking out my fucking tight pants and shit. My wife's always judging my tight fucking clothes and shit. Don't be like that.
I
okay?
told Mike he should come train with me, and he said he's going to have to wear a jock because he doesn't want to have to hit the pads and have a whole situation. I digress.
This might be my favorite podcast ever.
This is my wife just don't like my tight clothes. She said, why you have to wear fucking tight clothes, Mike? She understood. I said, baby, this is me. You married tight clothes. Why you mad wearing tight
You
clothes?
married tight clothes. Absolutely.
So you never got into the baggy shit when it came out in the 90s?
Fuck no, man. I wanted to show my bows and all that shit.
You know what's hilarious? I thought once baggy pants came back, I thought, and longer shorts, I never thought short shorts or tight clothes would ever come back.
Oh,
I
yeah,
never-
they absolutely have to
Mike
come
would
back.
wear tight shorts even when he was boxing. I mean, if you think
Absolutely.
about it, everyone else was going for the Jordans down to the knees.
I
He had
put
no
sexy
socks on,
back to
short
boxing, dude. I put sexy back to boxing. Then I go on the Wayne with my Versace tights and shit,
Yeah.
man.
You
Bling,
wear a
bling.
tight Versace suit?
I wear Versace till I die.
Wow.
Now, what is it about that you like?
Huh?
Does it fit your junk better than
No, yeah,
Yves Saint
that
Laurent?
too. It was made for me. It was made for me, yeah.
Yeah.
He made it for me. He made it. It was about me, baby.
I've dressed like this since the 5th grade.
And that's beautiful.
I have no style whatsoever.
That's beautiful, and hopefully you saved a lot of money by doing this.
You
That is
say
the most eloquent way anybody's ever shit on what I'm wearing.
Oh God!
You are saving a lot of money. Wait, what do you do with all the money you don't spend on clothes, Bill?
so, Mike. Do you want to? Because he is a master. He really is.
know,
I hate
I
to
know he is.
So
He's just trying to get you in the film.
still
I know what he's
complete.
doing. He's still working it.
no.
I'm trying to get in the film too. I'm asking him about the film. I'm not even. Please, may I be able to be in your film and show my acting skills?
You don't have, like, yeah, I never thought you would want to be. I'm already thinking of 3 different things you can do with it. Yeah.
and
Thank
you didn't think you were going to get married.
No, I didn't. When I was growing up, being married did not look fun. Nobody in my neighborhood looked happy. Everybody was just, it was, you know, I don't, it was, this is like pre-self-help. People just, whatever happened, you shook it off, you buried it, and you just fucking, you know, and they just kind of funneled you down something. And I think a lot of people that I grew up, unfortunately, weren't doing what they wanted to do with their lives.
They did what they're supposed to do with it.
Yes, is what they did. What they did. And then the reality of that hits, and you got, you know, people back then where everybody had 5, 6 kids. You
Yeah, but I don't
can't
look
pull the
down on those
ripcord.
people, though. I don't look down. Those guys bred great. Some of those guys' kids ran this country. Those people back then started and they had all those kids. Some of those kids wound up being leaders of this country. So, I mean,
No, I
I'm
wasn't
the
shitting on their
fuck-
kids. I was
yeah.
just saying that it's tough to change a job.
What
at that.
changed your mind that you could pull the trigger
To do what?
to get married?
He had no power over that.
Huh. What did do that? I don't remember, but I can tell you this. It seemed like a mountain that I had to climb up, and it was like so many of the demons that you have, because you get them when you're a kid. They look like mountains, and then you realize all you had to do was step up on the curb. That's all it was. And I gave her the ring. She broke down and cried. I never felt better. And I was just like, I should have done this forever ago.
Right.
And,
The fear of it.
oh, I'll tell you, I got a Chaz Palminteri story for you. So it's the day I'm going to get married. And like most guys, I'm freaking out, like, what in the fuck am I doing? What am I about to do with my life? And so I was getting fucking nervous, getting cold feet. So I'm with my brother. He's my best man. I go, hey, let's go down to the bar. I just need to have a drink before, I do this shit. And he goes, cool. So we go downstairs, and I'm at the hotel bar, and I got like a Budweiser because I didn't want to be fucked up at my own wedding. So I had a Budweiser, and I'm sitting there, and I look over. It was the middle of the day, and I look over, and I see Chaz Palminteri standing there with like 4 other people, and I immediately thought, a Bronx Tale. Now you can't leave. When they close that thing, and they get the shit kicked out of them, and then I got in my head going, oh my God, that's a fucking sign. I need to get out of here.
I'm that kind of guy that I go by sign.
Yeah.
I'm that guy that's a sign.
Why? And I wasn't in New York where he was from. I was in Boston. Why is he here?
Oh,
Why
I'm a
is he in
weirdo
this
like
bar
that. I'm a
when
weirdo
I'm
like
going to
that,
get
dude.
married?
What is
and
he doing here, right? Yeah, I'm the fucking same weird
Why
motherfucker
the
like
fuck?
that.
I always wanted to meet that guy. Why am I meeting him right now? He's trying to tell me something. And I had to get that out of my head. Thank God I did, because my wedding
I be
was the
saying
shit.
that means I'm going to die. So this means I'm going to die. I'm seeing him before I go.
When
Yeah.
was the last time you remember you went somewhere or you saw either something or you saw a person, and then you were like, this is a higher power trying to help me out. It's saying, Mike,
No.
don't do this, or you're
No.
doing the wrong thing.
This is just that I thought about this person, and this person's somewhere else, and I'm in this other city or this country, and now this guy's right here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's weird.
What the fuck is he doing here? No one can answer those questions. I think this is what I think.
I had that last night when you FaceTimed me.
Yeah, you serious?
I was sitting there. I thought I was because I've watched so many videos on you and interviews. I forgot I was talking to you for half a second. I'm like, wait, he's talking to me right now.
Sometimes I think.
This is why I don't need
This
mushrooms.
ever happened to you when you think about somebody and you say, I'm going to call this guy, and all of a sudden he may pull up on you in the car, or he may call you while you think about him. And he said, wow, I was just thinking about you. And I think that's something that we have that we don't know, that we can't operate, that
Can't tap into it.
Yeah, that we'd be able to do it instantaneously all the time.
If you had that power, who would you make walk through the door right now?
Excuse me?
If you had the power to do that, like if you had control of it,
Right this second.
and you were like, who do you want to walk through the door right now?
My kids.
Dude, that's the fucking nicest answer ever.
All my kids are hanging out. I want them to see this nigga and shit and talk to your guys. You meant you to make jokes on them and stuff.
I would have picked Lee Majors personally.
You were saying that your fear is always worse than what it is. Your fear is always worse than what it is.
All of our fears
Your
are.
fear of getting hit.
I have a question.
We
Did
wanna
you
hear
find the
your
coat
question.
first or the boots?
Oh, you're a cool dressing motherfucker. Oh, excuse me. I know I can say that, but I'm going to start conducting myself
Mike
with some
meant
kind
that,
of
and you were
distinguish here.
you're going down a different path, and I have no idea.
He looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
He
He's
does.
Beautiful.
I mean, to have that type of color coordination on a podcast is incredible. I mean, I thought I was
See,
crushing it with the black and gray.
You are, and by
with-
the
with
way,
the gray
you're
hair.
being self-deprecating, but you put it together. As
I did
well.
put it together.
Don't
This
pretend
came
like
right
you
out of the
fell
dry
into
cleaner.
this.
But look at, hey,
So I
hey,
can show you all my COVID
hey,
with
listen,
it.
listen.
I should have worn the jacket like you.
Hey, listen.
You got to cover up.
Forget
you
it.
gotta
You know,
cover up during
That
the
reminds
COVID.
me of Bonanza. I love
No
the Cartwrights.
way. Ain't no fucking Bonanza.
Bonanza was the shit.
tough
Regardless
room,
of the
man.
tight pants, we're fashion plates, man. Look at that.
Those
Yeah.
pants look like it went with that outfit. And you said, you know what, I like those. You guys broke it up. It's perfect.
Mike's got some. He's got a hat going on as well. He's got, you know.
Yeah, you are.
Player.
Now, do they send you at your level? Do they send you like a rack of clothes and just go, Mike, if you could fit this into your schedule, because if you wear these shoes or this shirt, we're gonna, they're gonna sell a bunch.
Well, I don't know. Some of them the clothes are just not cool enough. I have to ask them, this is what I want. Because some people, like, they offer their clothes, I'm not gonna wear it.
Right. Isn't that weird though? You can't afford shit, right? Coming up, you're broke, and then when you finally make it and you can pay for shit, people just want to give you stuff.
Then I realized that's entrepreneurship. Nobody's giving me anything. You know what I mean?
That's true. Mushrooms.
Yeah. See, another
You
reason
see,
why
you
you
see
need
all
to
the
jump in.
angles. I didn't. Sitting here with my sober mind.
What's the best part about mushrooms, Mike,
Huh?
for you? The best part, the best feeling on mushrooms.
Not being badgered with questions as you enjoy the high.
No, it just doesn't.
Kind of the nature of the beast here, Bill.
Fuck with you. It's certain elements. What you mean? Sometimes it just doesn't judge you. You don't have to worry about being judged.
But you can get bad mushrooms. You ever get mushrooms you're just like, this didn't take me where I wanted to be?
100%, yeah.
So what's the name of this strain of mushrooms?
Penis envy.
No, the mushrooms.
Peanut
It's called
envy
penis.
mushroom. Peanut envy mushroom.
I hear you. I was just waiting for the joke. You serious? That's what they call it?
Absolutely.
All right. I owe you an apology. I thought it was a joke. Hey, I'm Bill Burr for Penis Envy Mushrooms.
The dick get
You know-
envy with these shrooms.
When you want to get down to your kid's level or maybe talk to God, this shit tastes like foam.
Yeah,
Not like
they
that dirt
pour-
shit of vagina envy.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Growing up, Bill's reference for mushrooms is when we were growing up, they were dirty, they lasted forever, and they were intimidating.
They're sanitary now, baby.
It is kind of cool that shit is, once it becomes legal, then it gets way cleaner.
They fine tune it.
Yeah, like weed stores.
What do you like doing, Bill, though, right? I know you're not the Humpty Dumpty guy, the fucking Buddy Downer.
Why'd you say
and
Humpty
shit.
Dumpty? Because of my head?
No, I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying.
No, you're not the guy that just don't fucking
I see what
do
you just
shit.
did there.
Nah,
He snuck
right?
one in. He snuck one in after the bell. I saw
Yeah,
that.
that guy ain't worth shit, man. Listen, what do you do, man? You just have the things under control. You too laid back.
What do I do now? I kind of got rid of everything. Once I
How
had my
many
kid,
kids you have?
I got two, and I
How
quit.
old are they?
Oh, young. I started late.
Are they driving you crazy, huh?
No, I love them.
How old are they?
I love them. One's gonna be 4, and the other's 7 months.
Listen, can I tell you something, brother?
What?
My advice: enjoy it.
No, I am.
Enjoy.
I am
Please, brother.
because that's why I kind of
Enjoy
I
this.
love the pandemic because I'm not on the road and I don't
Enjoy
have a lot
this.
of shit going on. I'm enjoying the
girl,
hell
the
out of
boys?
it. I had a girl first and then the boy, which is great. If you have the girl first, because they are way more receptive to having a
Yeah,
sibling,
But listen, man.
where a boy kind of looks at a baby like
Listen.
they don't give a shit.
When they get like 12 and 13, whoa. Then now you got another person in the house.
I know.
Girls are a trip. They take over stuff.
Well, that already happened.
Yeah, you just have
It already happened. She's, I'm definitely the good cop in the relationship. But I think that happens with, I think girls, obviously, the kids get away with murder with the opposite sex. So my son's going to get away with murder with with my wife. The fuck was that?
Uh-oh.
My daughter will get away with murder with me, basically.
Yeah, they know how to
And
play
that-
you too. They know how to play
Well, that's I think because my wife is sitting there going like, that's a fake cry. Like she knows the thing. So now that's making me look at my wife like,
But subconsciously,
why do you know all these
Hey,
tricks?
but subconsciously, hey, you picking on my baby. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's happened my day. What are you making her cry for? It's not that important.
Yeah.
You're gonna make her
No, I
cry,
feel that
you
because
know?
I like
Yeah.
when she'll discipline her, we don't spank or anything like that, but it just goes like, she'll just be like, hey, you got to stop doing that or whatever. There is a twinge of me going like,
Yeah, I'm the same. Wow,
yeah,
I'm the
don't,
same way.
yeah,
I'm the same with my daughter. Don't talk to her like that.
yeah. She can do nothing wrong.
And it's so interesting, Mike, because we were talking before about the fact that you can get love from all these strangers and you can be celebrated, and then you're looking for it from your own kids, and it doesn't necessarily come that way. It's not that easy.
That's the real deal, right? Our kids, right? And just when they get that age, like when I tell you, they see the bullshit in us. That our family, people, they don't see that bullshit that the kids see when we're not us. You know, when we're not putting on.
That's so true.
And they see that bullshit. So it's hard for them to, so they look at you now, so it's hard for them to fucking like be jumping on your jock when they see these flaws going on.
Yeah.
My daughter gave me that look at about 18 months.
Yeah.
My heart dropped. I was like, oh my God, she already figured me out.
That's a hell of a feeling, huh?
It is.
And you think
It's humbling.
these
She
people
was
smarter
looking
than me. I'm saying these people smarter than me.
Yeah.
I don't say these kids are smarter than me. I'm thinking they're aliens. How do you know all this stuff?
They also have access to a lot more information.
Maybe
No, but they know
maybe it's
way
just
more.
another breed of human being. They're a different breed of human beings. They're
No,
so
you think
perceptive.
because they can't walk and they can't talk that the brain's working, and they are just processing shit. They just don't have the ability to sit there and be like, "Wow, what you just did was really fucked up." They just sort of look at you. You just like, you just gotta look at your baby and just be like, "I know,
What?
I
These
know,
kids, man, what
I'm
the
working on
fuck?
it.
Yeah.
I'm working on." But the thing that I am happy about is that I apologize. I admit that I'm wrong, and I talk shit out with my kid. My son's not old enough yet, so I am my best thing that I like is my daughter is not afraid of me at all, which is she respects me, but she's not afraid. So at least I got that going for me.
I always tell my kid, you know your grandmother would have did to you. You said that to me, to her, that you said to me. Your grandmother would beat your ass. She said, well, my grandmother's not here. My kids get away with it. They say everything crazy to me.
Yeah,
I love them. They're spoiled.
that's what you're supposed to. I mean, to a certain degree, you're
They
supposed to do
could
that.
bat me everything I talk, but that's not good. That's not right. That's not right.
I got nieces and they bust my balls and they crush me.
Oh.
It's pathetic. I took them over to Jamie Foxx at a Christmas party and I brought Pearl over because I'm trying to impress them because I need a win. I need a win from these girls.
Should have brought me. I would have been impressed.
No,
I would have.
really?
I would have.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Because my Pearl took one look at me. We're walking in, and she literally looks at me and she goes, "Is Jamie going to be awkward the way you are?"
Oh, God.
They walk in, and these little girls they feel like they're.
What
too,
do you say to that?
Yeah, there's no comeback.
My daughter saw Venus, and that just really blew her mind. She trained with Venus a little bit, and that just really took her to it. And she just blew. She can't believe it.
My daughter said to me the other day, she just goes like, Dad, can I have this or whatever? I go, how come you never say please? And she goes, well, because I'm smart and I know a lot about music. I don't even know what the fuck that means. And I was just like, all right. What did you ask me for? What's the name of this podcast?
Hotboxin.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have like a little mushroom in there too. Neon mushroom.
Yes, I should. I really should. You're absolutely right. Instead of like a 4-leaf clover, you should have a mushroom there.
Why not, man?
I think that's cool.
Yeah, man.
What about peyote? Did you ever do
I'm
that?
not a peyote guy.
That means did you try it?
No. I'm a toad guy. See the toad right there? I like to smoke the toad puff.
You never tried peyote?
No.
Son, what is it about that you would say I'm not a peyote guy if you didn't try it?
I don't know. No one never offered it to me. I guess they didn't think I would like it.
Because that seems like
would like
for
to
someone like me who never tripped or anything, for someone to say here's some peyote, that's a huge leap for me. And
Really?
but I feel like if you already tried mushrooms, right?
I did so much other stuff that peyote is just small fries to me.
Hey, what's Japan like?
What do you say? It's like assembly line? An assembly line, yeah.
And does Tokyo? Whenever I see pictures, it looks like a giant Times Square. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it looks.
Yeah, but it's
Ridiculously
assembly line.
vivid.
Everybody's walking. Everybody's doing what they have to do. There's nobody chilling, talking shit. None of that.
So coming from America?
Women don't have no really good rights. A lot of women are in jail there from passions of crimes of passion, killing their husbands or something.
That's a thing over there?
Yeah, yes.
It's
You've got an
You
interesting.
know the scariest place I ever went?
What's that?
Singapore,
Yeah.
because that was where
They caned that young kid, right?
Yeah. And this is how I grew up too. My mother was just like, "Well, they should. Those were the laws. That's what they should do." I just remember going through security and just thinking like, I don't have any weed. I got nothing, right? I don't have any weed. I was telling my wife, "You don't have any weed, nothing." And like, you hear this shit like if you spit gum on the street, like you go to jail forever, which isn't true.
You can't get in trouble.
Yeah, but you can get in trouble, but it's not like they
not all day.
execute you or anything. But that was the scary. Plus, I watched a video one time of somebody getting caned. It is no fucking.
Whoop, they just cut his flesh. Yeah, cut his
The dude took like 3 and was fine, and on the 4th one he fucking collapsed, sort of. And they kind of like He had to take 7. Yeah. It's not a good thing to watch before you go to Singapore. That's
No.
not good for tourist
No.
attractions. Can I borrow your lighter, Mike?
Please,
Thank
my
you, sir.
pleasure,
Did you
brother.
call your shot with the Mandalorian? Did they come to you? Were you
You in that
into
movie?
It's a TV series on Disney.
Disney?
Disney.
I thought it was a movie.
Well, if you like spaghetti westerns, you ought to check that shit out. Because
I love
Jon
spaghetti.
Favreau, oh my God, he fucking they're killing it. Rick Famuyiwa, they're just killing it over there. And I always made fun of Star Wars, not because I really really hated it. It's just I saw people excited about shit, and being a comedian, you
wanted
just
to
make
fuck
fun of
shit
it.
up, huh?
Yeah, you just make fun of it, right?
You're a miserable fuck, aren't you? Just wanna fuck up
not-
shit.
It's not as like I used to be. Now I kind of do it more fun. But when I was a younger comic, when I was really angry, I was a miserable prick. But so anyway, I've always
Joe
made.
Rogan was the angry comic too at one time. You ever see Joe Rogan stand up?
Yeah.
He's pretty tough. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He's one of the best comedians I've ever seen. Like his energy on stage is unique. There's nobody. The first time I saw him was at the Kowloon in Saugus. It was a Chinese restaurant. Like for some reason, Chinese restaurants and stand-up comedy in Boston, they just always had a room in the back or a room upstairs. In this place, they had a room upstairs. And me,
Always food there, huh?
yeah, and me and
I think I would like the Chinese restaurants, but they have good food there, huh?
yeah, and East Coast Chinese food too, which is the shit. So I went with late great Patrice O'Neill, and we went and watched him, and we're just fucking blown away. There was nobody. There was this weird thing with Boston comedy where you had this Mount Rushmore people that created it, and they didn't leave, didn't want to leave, and they were making great money. So you had to leave and establish yourself, and then come back, and then you could headline. So he was the guy we were looking at. Like, how did he do that? Like, how is he still in his 20s headlining the Kowloon? Because that it just you couldn't get that gig did not exist for our generation, and he did it. So we're like, all right, let's go down and check this guy out, see if this guy's as good as people say he was. That's when he was doing the. You ever see tigers fucking? That was his closing bit, and he sounded just like a tiger, and he acted this shit out. I just like I remember the sonic like assault of that bit in a great way was just like. There was like. That bit alone was better than what my whole generation was doing collectively when we watched that. So I was just like, and that was one of those things when you saw a guy that good, that it couldn't not have an impression on you, that you had to be like.
So do you think that's your biggest influence?
There's comics and there's certain sets, and he's both. Joe Rogan at the Kowloon in fucking, I'm talking like 94. It was before I moved to New York. Me and Patrice went down and we watched him, and we were just like, "What?"
He's not with us no more.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
was at his one of the what we roast Charlie Sheen or something. That was the last roast that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll never not be sad. That guy, yeah. If he was still alive, you wouldn't know who I was or a lot of other people, because he was so good. But that was what made it great, because he was so good. You'd never had a competitive thing with them. Like, in order to compete with somebody, they have to be somewhere within my sight. And he was just over the horizon, and just so when he went on stage, you stopped being a comedian. You just became like a fan of stand-up, and that's what Rogan did when I saw him at the Kowloon. Like, I stopped being like, okay, how do I get there? And he moved to L.A. I just forgot all of that shit and just started enjoying the show. And yeah, I almost felt like I should have paid him because I was sitting there like an audience member.
And people are that way with you when they see certain bits that you do, like your helicopter bit. They look at that and go, okay, you're hitting that from so many different angles, so many different perspectives. That's really...
You know what's funny? I flew with the guy that was the dude flying, and he had seen me do the bit, and he never brought it up.
Really?
How cool is that? I had to find out afterwards. I had rented this helicopter. I got a pilot's license, so we were flying up to...
Crazy, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, once you get up there,
I bet.
you will be so fucking scared driving down the highway. The highway becomes way scarier. Way scarier. It's like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. It's like we're all flying in formation and nobody has any...
Johnny Kennedy Jr. told me the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, when you're up there, you should see the
I
technology.
You can't believe how beautiful it is up there.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's what I heard.
It's
heard
insane.
that too.
So, yeah, I like go up there and I find shit I want to go do with my wife. I'm
I know.
flying on a
I
little
don't want
fucking
to
beach.
do this. I don't want to
Yeah.
drive
It's a great
ride a
perspective.
plane.
Yeah. So
You're the kind of guy that likes do one of the drilling junkies, right?
no, you know why I ended up getting into helicopters was conspiracy theory.
Tell me.
So I was reading too much about the Federal Reserve because you are doing too much because you can't fix it. So all you do is just meet other psychos
No, psychics.
and psychos.
Well-
You can't tell me that you haven't met a conspiracy theorist where you're excited because they're into it too, and about a minute into the conversation, it's like, I got to get away from this fucking guy. Well, you don't experience that. You're
Well,
Mike
he's just a
Tyson.
little- he's a
You
little
look like
deeper
me
than
with no fights. Yeah.
I understand some
People will
are
bend your ear a little
deeper
more.
in certain issues than they are in others.
All right. So it was my I was reading up on this shit, and
What are you reading up on?
just how the whole Federal Reserve came about, the Woodrow Wilson shit, his letter of regret.
1912.
Yeah, and how they passed it when everybody had gone home.
It's
And
just like now. They wanted to put taxes on the robber barons. That's when the taxes were created. That's what these federal guys, this 412 families, made the Federal Reserve to tax the robber barons like the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts and all those kind.
I thought they were the robber barons and they took
No.
control of the money.
No, they're the robber barons. But who's gonna put the robber barons in their perspective? So they need guys like Theodore Roosevelt to do that, to make these laws. So now,
Well, if that's
now
what-
taxes come in 1912.
But if
Before
that's what they were
1912, there
trying
were
to
no
do, then,
taxes.
and if you told me that, then I would have never learned how to fly. Because I learned how to fly from reading that shit. Because I became convinced that the dollar was going to collapse. That 2008 shit happened, and they were just like, "Hey, go fuck yourself. We're too big to fail."
Dollar's
So-
never going to collapse. It's just that we're going to get our share. We're gonna make up something that's called taxes, and we're going to tax the robber barons so their money won't get too powerful.
All right. Well, my
That's what
version
it's
of it
about.
was
No, that's just
I-
a fact. You can read that. That's why they did it. 1912, 6 families.
that
decided
Devil's
they-
Island shit. Yeah, I read all of that stuff.
No, I
So
don't-
then,
no, it wasn't no Devil's Island. It was just families, and they just decided.
well, you got to
decided
send me
on
the link to
control.
read that because the one that I had Devil's Island, which really made it more vivid. That these guys met in a place called Devil's Island. So then it just starts seeming true. It's why the internet is really it can be a great thing. You can learn a language, you can do all this great shit, but if you just, if you're a dummy like me and you get a fucking laptop, like there's no telling what you're going to watch
And why
and
would
what you're going to believe.
Why would you think the government would create taxes in 1912? Since 1912, they decided not to have no taxes. Why did they decide all of a sudden we should make taxes?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, whatever the fuck I read, it made me paranoid to live in LA, and I was like, I can't even get out of this place when it works. So up and out.
So you got on a helicopter.
Yes, you did.
Huh?
You got on a helicopter.
Yeah, and that was it. And then I was starting to get away from conspiracy theory, and then I started flying helicopters, and I'm sort of a closet gearhead. Like, I don't know how to fix shit, but I've watched everybody fix everything. I watched this guy, Eric the car guy. I watched him, like, fix, like, a fucking 95 Honda Accord, and I can't stop watching shit. Like, Like he figures out the electrical, and I don't know, I just watched the guy and he just makes it look so simple. So I kind of got into that and had a really poor science background. So the physics of flying and all of that was this whole
What is
new
your
world.
biggest fear?
The ocean.
No, what do you fear more than anything? That ocean. We all.
Now,
fear
why
the
did you just
ocean.
say no? Like,
No, but we all fear the ocean. We all.
that was
could
like,
die in
fuck,
the
like
ocean.
you're in my head. You know what I'm thinking more than I do?
How does the ocean?
Aggressive therapy.
fear?
You just met me. You asked me, and I literally said it was the ocean.
He
You're
wants
like,
to
no.
go deeper, no pun
I'm a
intended.
profiler. I'm a profiler.
This is from all those years.
Mike does
Sizing
lock
it. No,
it.
this is from all those years of having to size a guy up across the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Who,
that's
like,
not-
I don't understand how you don't
listen.
throw up before this. There's a
Listen.
guy just training to fucking knock your brain into the fifth fucking row, and you know while you're training that's what that guy's doing. How do you even go to bed? How are you not just lying there going, is he still doing more sit-ups? Do I need to do a few more of these? Like,
No, but no, what's interesting? Just did I size him up. Within like before, like in 30 seconds, I have to size somebody up before we fight.
you know what my favorite stare down you had?
What?
Was Peter McNeely.
Absolutely.
That fucking thing, your head wasn't moving, and he was sitting there going like this, and you just stand there going,
Yo, listen, I gotta tell you one thing. Peter
your
McNeely-
eyes were just going side to side. And
Peter
we all knew the fight
McNeely
was over
is
anyways.
One of the greatest guys in the world, personally.
Right.
You know, so I'm in, after biting the Vanderbilt Hill, they sent me to Harvard Medical Center, a psych ward pretty much, so I had to go there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
So what you sitting there going like, I'm not crazy. The fucking
I'm doing
dude
this shit. I'm doing this
was
shit.
headbutting me.
But that don't mean shit, man. I gotta go talk to these people with these white jackets.
Wait, did
man,
they give you
right?
the Jack Nicholson
Yeah.
knitted hat from One Flew Over the
Listen.
Cuckoo's Nest? And you're like, come on, put the game on.
They got
Like
me
the
in
one,
I'm
the
in
one
outfit.
sane guy in there.
Right.
They got
Right.
me in there with people fucking chickens and shit. Yeah. So I'm
Fuck.
in there. But all of a sudden in my room, knock, knock, know who it is, Peter McNeely. Yo, Mike, let's go out, baby. This is beautiful, baby. Let's go out. I got some bitches right now. I said, Pete, I can't. I got to take this test. He said, nah, fuck that, Mike. I got these bitches. Let's go out.
That's amazing.
And, man, I wanted to go out with him so bad. He just looked like, he just looked at the...
That's so cool that you guys at one moment are trying to kill each other, and then the second it's over, like you guys can just hang
It's
out.
just us trying to make some money for our families, man. We don't have no heart. Most fighters are really friends, and we respect each other. We just put on this show.
Yeah, but that moment that he's talking about, that wasn't a show. I mean, you were locked in.
Oh yeah, we're fighting.
You were locked in.
but after
and you
it's
couldn't
over,
wait to
it's
get
love.
after it.
Yeah, but after it's
You
over,
could
it's
not
love.
wait.
My favorite
It was
stare
terrifying.
down.
I know he been.
You want
to
another guy
I
with
know
a
he been to a bunch of rehabs. Peter had to go to a bunch of rehabs, man. 'Cause he's a beautiful person. He just like to party.
Another guy I thought he had a great stare was Tommy Hearns.
Tommy Hearns was pretty tough, wasn't he?
Yeah,
back in
and
the
he had
day?
that weird thing where he was like almost 6 feet tall,
He
but
was.
he could make weight at like 155.
He was great.
That
bro.
middleweight division, like in the 70s, it was the heavyweight division. I don't know much about boxing, but like the middleweight division
Trust
when
me,
it was
you know
Duran,
enough.
Sugar Ray,
Yeah.
Marvin Hagler, my favorite, because
Yeah.
he was a Brockton, Massachusetts guy.
He was
He's
amazing.
underrated, Hagler, I feel
Oh
like.
yeah.
Oh man, it still kills me that,
People are
that
so
I
scared
thought
of
he
this
won that
motherfucker.
Sugar Ray fight, man. When he was sitting there going like, "This is why I don't fight in Vegas" or something, blah blah blah. And I just was like, But I also loved Sugar Ray Leonard. I loved all those guys. Roberto Duran. I loved that whole division, and boxing was.
All those guys for Hagler when Hagler was at his end of his career. No one, none of those guys ever fought him in his prime.
I do love that when he said after that fight, "Fuck it, I'm not coming
Yeah.
back." And he's coming back. It was like Barry Sanders. Yeah, you could
He went to-
easily
he went to
go out
Italy. He
and.
went to Italy. He was hanging out in Italy. I saw him in Italy a couple of times.
That's where he lives, apparently, Hagler.
Yeah, he came to see me fight in England. Once I was fighting in England, he came to visit me.
When you fought Frank Bruno, or
I don't know who when I
Yeah.
fought in England. The English
well, you did fight
champion.
Frank Bruno in England.
Somebody else, not Frank.
Yeah.
I fought him over here.
How often do you run into guys you fought? And I don't mean the famous
I
guys.
just ran into Frank Bruno. We did some kind of commercial or
Sweet
something
guy.
together, periodically, not much.
So, Mike,
That's
you want to do
wild.
another one-man show.
Absolute till I die.
So you got a guy who's one of the best writers in the game.
Fucking agent here. He's putting together another package here.
I was trying to, and if you don't want to go into it, that's fine. But I was
Are you fucking kidding me? I'd do that in a second.
Oh, okay.
If you came with me with like some stories and shit, I've seen your one-man show. I wouldn't need to. I would just be like, I would expand on this, expand on that, but like his stories are fucking ridiculous.
My producer, my wife does all my lines and shit.
I know, but
she directs. She's the only one that could direct me.
All right, I'm not going to ruin
really
his personal life over
complicated
this.
to be
I'm not gonna
directed
do that.
by. You know, I'm a really asshole when it comes
no,
to that.
but the great thing about Bill's journey is he could probably unlock different ways and different perspectives to look at your stories.
Don't oversell it now. Don't oversell it.
No, he's good, baby. He's good. He's good.
He said you were going to unlock some shit. You didn't unlock anything, and I get fucking yelled at.
What do you do, Bill? What's your life like? Like, you know, besides the kids, you have friends. You go out, and you just stay in clubs.
I
and work
did.
all the time?
I did before this bullshit. Before this shit happened. Yeah.
You have friends. you hang out with?
Yes, I have. I have a tight circle of friends that I would do anything for, and they do anything for me, and we've had some of the best times ever doing not even like just doing the shows. It was like the hangs afterwards, you know, hanging out and talking, and we would just always we were drinkers, so we would just get like a tour bus and we'd do the show, and then we would just, you know, we go to the Italian section in like Pittsburgh, get a bunch of Italian food, and we'd watch like a gangster movie. Or, you know, if we just felt like getting fucked up, we'd watch like Anchorman. We did like really just stupid clubhouse shit. And I got to tell you, I'm glad that that's the way I did the fucking road, you know? That was the way to do it with all this bullshit there now.
I remember when I was a young kid, we was always boxing in Holyoke, Massachusetts.
Holyoke, Massachusetts. I don't even know where that is. I just remember always hearing that growing up. I'm sure Dick Doherty had a club out there at one point. Shout out to Dick Doherty.
Dick Doherty.
Dick Doherty.
Dick Doherty.
Dick Doherty, the king of Boston comedy.
You're a very interesting guy, dude.
Am I, or is that the mushrooms? What do you think? It's got to be 50-50.
The mushrooms didn't seep in yet.
Oh, they didn't.
Nah.
It's got to be getting close. You took that last
No, that's not 30 minutes.
head of cauliflower level of mushrooms that he took.
What are you talking about?
No, just
It was just hilarious because you're on a different wavelength right now. You should do it.
Yeah.
It'd be very
But
stimulating.
The thing about mushrooms is because it's not man-made, it takes whatever you're feeling and explores and heightens it, as opposed to
So you've done mushrooms.
yeah.
I like the way you said,
So-
yeah. I want to hear the story. You went, yeah.
No, I used.
You got more relaxed when I said that.
Yeah, you felt it.
This is an infomercial for mushrooms, and you know what? I'm buying. I am
no skin
fucking
in-
buying.
Bro, we got no skin in this game.
I know
We're-
that's why it is, because you guys are not making any money off of it, and you're selling it like you do. So it's
Well, you said to him, you know, when he said you're an interesting dude, he meant it because
Really?
it's not like he's doing blow and he's talking shit and he's a slave to this man-made drug. It just gets into whatever truth you have and it just kind of heightens it.
dude, you on blow would be the greatest fucking thing ever.
Listen,
The
right?
fucking
Listen, this guy,
ever.
listen,
right in
right?
your teeth and shit. Your
I saw him on
glasses
blow. I know how
fogging
he
up.
would be on blow. I saw him act like it in a movie. Oh, this shit would be crazy.
Oh shit! I
This
never
shit
fucked
would
with that. You know what's weird? Like how just certain drugs, like the stigma. Like cocaine was always dirty. It was always in the back room, and everybody had to be doing. Like, you know, you can take mushrooms in front of you. Want something? It's social. It's cool. Cocaine was always that.
No, cocaine was never dirty. I came in the world with a very sociable cocaine. Everybody had cocaine in the room, and everybody thought their cocaine was better than everybody else's cocaine.
Oh, well. By the time it came around to me, that's not the way it was. And I remember, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But
96, baby.
96, it was. That was like 15 years after The Big Lie.
96, dude.
Cocaine, The Big Lie. You don't remember that in the 80s?
80s, I wasn't a cocaine guy. That's when I was a little kid.
Oh.
I'm talking about as I got successful and I had the cocaine. It was massive and we were enjoying it. Yeah.
I mean, Mike, and I'm not saying this. I'm quoting you. You're one of the only guys who can do cocaine and actually gain weight.
Absolutely.
It's very rare.
Absolutely. I must have had bad cocaine.
Oh, you would get the munchies? That's not good cocaine.
No, I don't know what it was, but I got really large. I was the fat cokehead.
That's rare. That's like a unicorn, a fat
Yeah,
cokehead.
everybody said, man, what the fuck happened to you? You sure you're not doing more than coke? Shit, I said, fuck. I'm the only fat.
All right, so if I was helping you, if I was helping him with his one-man show,
Yeah.
you got to build that out.
Correct.
The
This
fat
is what I'm talking
cokehead.
about.
Oh no,
You
it's
gotta
in the,
do-
it's in the show. I got it in
Do
the show.
this thing and then do the fat cokehead.
No,
and then
no. Listen, we did that.
Let's
Listen, we did
explore the
that.
fat cokehead.
I'm seeing the
I
show,
showed
Mike.
a picture. I showed a picture of the fat coke. Oh, well, you see that? That's really.
We've seen the
funny.
pictures, Mike.
Yes, but I
We
do that in
followed
my
you.
show.
We've
I
seen-
do that in my show. I showed them the picture.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They got pictures in the show, so I showed the pictures of the fat crackhead.
One of the predominant feelings on mushrooms is just straight up joy and laughter, correct?
I'm just feeling comfortable with you first.
Okay.
You know, give you comfortability.
Yeah.
And what does that say about you that he had to eat that much mushrooms to get fucking comfortable with you? There's a nervousness to you. I feel it.
No. I've been
You
doing,
can ask Mike.
It's traveling through the couch and it's getting into me.
No, that's bullshit, man.
Ask Mike. He'll give it to you straight. Mike, do I make you? You make him nervous.
Huh?
No, I think it.
Nothing makes him fucking nervous. What are you talking about?
Shrooms to examine our brother.
Yeah. He wants to examine you.
You know. Did you ever have to go? Did you ever have to go to AA?
When I got arrested for drinking and driving,
You had to go to
and
AA.
I had to go to 2 AA meetings, and I immediately realized I wasn't an alcoholic.
Oh, I hear that.
Because you went there and I was just like, all right, I guess this is where my life is. I guess I'm like these people. And then the people started telling these fucking stories. I was like, it's like, all right, I drink. These fucking people drink. Because I was listening to their stories. I just was, with every low point, I was just going, and then you quit. And then you came here and ate donuts. And it was like, no, I kept going. It was just everything ended the same way. And the next day, I couldn't find my teeth. But I was wearing pajama bottoms. And I got there, but 9 a.m. I was standing right outside the liquor store. I was just trying to get the fucking. So then they go to me. Do you want to share? It's like, dude, I can't fucking follow this.
No way. Can't
Yeah,
compete with
yeah,
it. Gives you a little perspective.
yeah. I also got busted so young. I was like 21 when I got.
You have to do shit. Huh?
I didn't get. Yeah. So my drinking got out of control when I got money. And then.
That can happen.
Yeah. That's the clip. When you fucking advertise this podcast, that is the clip.
That's it.
That was fucking perfect.
Yep.
That can happen. There was so much behind that.
Yep.
Thick.
Oh my God. That was like another 3 one-man shows. Dude, that's the name of your one-man show. That can happen. That can happen. And then you just fucking launch into it.
Yes.
You talk about being a fat cokehead. I'm seeing a
That
Tony
can
Award.
happen, right?
You got to get in on this, man. This is your idea.
Happen. They don't believe no fat cokehead that can
Absolutely.
happen.
Oh, this is fucking tremendous.
That can happen. How you doing, Joey, man?
If you knew how grumpy I was driving all the way down here. This is the greatest decision I've made.
That's the way life is, right, though?
Hey,
Hey, dude.
Wish we knew what
Listen,
life
dude,
like.
that can happen is now in my fucking
That can
vernacular. That can happen. It covers so much ground.
You see me homeless with the beautiful woman? That can happen.
That can happen. That can happen.
That can happen.
That can happen.
That can happen. No, I
Mike,
know
you have a great podcast.
Oh no, but
This is a great fucking podcast. Cuban cigars, and that can happen. I mean, what the?
That
My
can
day is
happen.
complete.
Yeah, think about Mike is he'll look at you every once in a while and he'll just cut right through it.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that within the
What
first
am I
30
doing?
seconds.
I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
I
I
ain't
love
know
it.
this is fucking beautiful shit. You're a beautiful brother. They talking about you a conspiracy motherfucker. You think the same shit I think.
Yeah,
How you think we got here?
I don't know, but if I was on mushrooms, I would think that fight actually happened. Elvis Presley versus Muhammad Ali.
That's beautiful, right? Elvis gave him that robe. Elvis was a beautiful person in real life. You know? He wasn't the person people thought he was.
Did you ever meet Elvis, Mike?
No, he died in like 77.
77,
That's right,
August,
of course,
August of
of course.
77.
That's right.
You know, that's know when you somebody, how the fuck I care about no fucking dying 77, but we know. It's just in our head, we know he died.
That was a big deal. That was
I
a
was
big-
11 years old then, I remember that.
Yeah, I was 9.
But you remember that, huh?
Yeah, I remember they played him on the radio. My
Yeah.
parents were
That
dancing
was a
to like
tough
his
day.
music in the living room and shit. That was a big deal. A lot of caddies at that funeral, huh?
Everybody loved him.
He was a generous dude too.
Bill Burr, comedian, baby. Made headlines in October 2000 and 2000 after controversial
That's 2020.
monologue. You know, man, I don't know
2000
this
and
shit,
2000, Mike. That's
I don't know this
2020.
shit, nigga. Listen,
Those
man.
Brownsville schools, man.
Phil, tell me, man. But listen, right?
2000 and 2000.
It
That's
is,
fucking
man.
great.
2020. That shit.
2020.
Yeah.
Be 20 and 20, if anything.
So he had Bill had some backlash after the SNL monologue because he
Billy,
was speaking his
Billy
truth.
boy, oh Billy,
Oh, Mikey,
I did mushrooms, dude.
you did.
She
And you're a
was
beautiful
funny.
person.
She was funny. View was funny with mushrooms, dude.
I had actually
So,
heard.
anyways, that's all bullshit.
What?
That is.
Okay.
They-
But it was
they-
incredibly difficult to get that monologue because you had no real live audiences to kind of workshop the material.
You're kind of
So you-
dark sometimes. You're not friendly with people. You know that, right?
Yeah. I'm aware of that. I'm more defensive, is what it is. No, but I don't like
We
that.
were happy to have you, man. Thank you for showing up.
Dude, if I knew it was gonna be like this, I would have been here years ago. I feel like I'm skipping school right now. This is fucking amazing.
Oh man, this is a beautiful day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember I skipped school one time. The Celtics won a championship, '86, right? My parents, I asked them if I could go to the parade, and they were like, no, you can't. You got to go to school. And I was like, all right. So I just went anyway. And I didn't wear sunblock or anything, so my face, I looked like a fucking lobster. And for some dumb reason, I was fucking shit-faced. I was driving this pickup truck, and I had like fucking 20 other drunk people in the back. And I went by this, after I dropped them off, I went back to the school to get, because I knew I had a test and I didn't have the book. So I went into my high school completely shit-faced and sunburned. So I'm walking down the hall in the middle of the fucking, like I'm supposed to be in a class. So you had to have a hall pass. So I'm walking down the fucking hall, and of course, the vice principal who suspended everybody, Mr. Calnan, comes walking down, and I am fucking shit-faced. And I was just like, just hold it together. Just act like you have a pass. Just act like you have a pass. And I walked by him, and I said, what's up? Instead of saying, Mr. Calnan, I said, what's up? And I was just like, and he just goes, how are you? And he just kept fucking walking. Because I was literally thinking, like, this is a automatic 2-week suspension. I'm already flunking all my classes. I'm going to get zeros and everything. My dad's going to make me even redder than I am. This guy.
He
and
rakes you up.
He didn't. See, one of the few times in my life I ever just played it cool, and it worked. I think because I said, what's up? It's like if you didn't have a hall pass, you wouldn't have said that, but it was the alcohol. And then that started my drinking. I was like, I like me on booze. I say hello to people. They don't ask for credentials.
When the last time you worked?
Texas.
Excuse me?
Texas.
Texas. How long was that?
When I
20.
did a run of dates out there. I mentioned it about an hour ago, before the handfuls of mushrooms.
Time has no meaning for Mike at this point.
No, it doesn't
None.
exist.
Doesn't exist.
Are you a sci-fi guy?
No.
You're not into it?
No.
I'm not really into it either.
I'm not a sci-fi
Unless it's
guy.
like Blade. I like Blade Runner.
Was that with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, that was with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the first one.
Yeah.
The first one.
70s, right?
Early 80s, but the Ryan Gosling one's the shit too.
I haven't been checking that shit out. No way.
I don't think you need to, man. You got penis envy. It's gonna be
Big
better.
time.
That's gonna be better than any movie you're gonna watch. That's what I'm gathering from this.
Hey, listen, I happen to believe that you're correct. It's going to be some really movie shit going on in a few minutes. It's gonna
I don't know what that
yeah,
means, but okay.
Yeah, man. It's all beautiful, baby. It's just beautiful. Life is all love.
I'm in. I'm in.
Tell us about your mother and your father. Where they come from, man? Who are you, man? Where you descend from?
I'm
Where your
from
parents come from?
Midwest,
All of them, yeah. When they move up to Boston?
Vietnam War.
Really?
Yeah. My dad was in the Navy and he got transferred. He thought he was going to Vietnam, but he was really good at what he did. So he worked at a head and neck team that worked on wounded vets from Vietnam and he got stationed at a place that doesn't exist
You ever know
anymore.
about his family?
No,
You never met any of them?
no, I met him, but he doesn't talk much about that.
Ain't
But
that some shit?
yeah, but that, no, but yeah, that's how it was back then. So it was Chelsea Naval Hospital where he got stationed. So that's what brought them from the Midwest to Massachusetts, which was ridiculous how it worked out for me, because then I ended up growing up in what I think is some of the funniest fucking people in the world.
Listen,
In Massachusetts, everybody is just, and just New England in general, right down all the way down to like New York and everything. I don't know what it is, but there's just, I think because we're all jam-packed together and we didn't have the ability to have conversations like this, so everybody just reacted, and it was just hilarious. So the Vietnam War brought my family tree to Massachusetts, and then all of these guys, Lenny Clark, Tony V, all of these guys, Sweeney, Gavin, and all these guys created this stand-up scene. And through all of their hard work, I ended up just being at the right place. You know what I mean? It would be like,
yeah, I do.
it would be like, I would say, if you wanted to be a rapper and you were lucky enough to grow up in New York at one point, when that was the place. Not, I don't know shit about hip hop. I don't know, you know, it always seems like it's Atlanta and bounces around. But if you were there at the right time, and you just sort of get absorbed into that scene, yeah, it was. My life has really just been a series of ridiculously lucky things happening.
But you had to be prepared for that luck, those moments.
I was told this.
You know that.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't
You
know.
know this one? You know this one? The harder you work, the luckier you get.
There you go.
That's what I was always told from my teacher. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
People did a lot of work to create the scene before I even knew I even wanted to do it. So, but yeah, I definitely think that. I would agree with that,
But
as
you
you said.
had to be called to the scene, though. All this is, you don't think you navigated yourself here, do you? You don't think
No, I
this-
fell into it.
Oh, you fell into it?
Just
You
yeah,
think
sort of. I sort of talked about
You
it.
fell into it. You fell into it. You were smart enough to create this, to fall into this.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm
Mm.
saying that like I, through dumb luck, because of a fucking war that ripped this country apart, a plus side was that my family moved to Massachusetts, and when I decided to become a comedian, I got to be in one of the greatest comedy scenes ever, the Boston comedy scene, and seeing these guys, Kevin Knox, rest his soul, and all these amazing guys.
Excuse me.
And then also what I loved about Boston was what they considered an okay set. I found in a lot of other scenes that was considered killing. And I remember when I was bouncing around doing the road, and guys would say I was killing, I was thinking like, that's not killing. Kevin Knox at Nick's Comedy Stock. That's when that guy was on stage. It sounded like there was a jet landing.
When do you feel that you're killing? When did that come about?
That I actually killed. It
That
took
you
like
felt that you killed?
8 years in.
Yeah.
8 years in, it took me 8 years to not be moving around for no reason.
Why you never quit?
Well, that's that classic stand-up thing where they say if you're really going to be a comedian, is the thought of quitting never enters your mind. Because that's what a normal person would do. If you go on stage in front of a bunch of people and eat your balls, it's fucking
Well,
humiliating.
you know, I think about that in life.
What's that?
The thought of quitting is not even thought of.
Yeah. You know something I don't like about commenters on boxing videos? I hate when there's a great fighter that for some reason, like I think a lot of times when someone's a shit-talking great fighter, people don't like the person and they want him to fail because it does something to them that they're thinking like, because secretly they want to be that confident and they want to be that guy.
Exactly.
So then we don't. So then they wait till the end of the fucking fighter's career, you know, when they lose, and you see him. Oh, I love this fucking asshole. He's such a piece of shit. You know, I could
Yeah.
watch this fight all day, and it's just like, dude, you're talking about yourself. You're not talking about this person that had the balls to get in there and dealing with the fact that every year you're a year older, and so much of that is with sports is
Some people live their life vicariously through people.
Yeah.
So sometimes we shouldn't take it personally how they feel. That's how they live their life. That's how their life is focused and stuff. We have to be grateful. You have to be grateful, Jeremy and myself, that we can cause people to feel that way.
Yeah, I learned probably about 10, 12 years ago. I just stopped giving a shit what people, if they came up and they didn't like me, and they would, they come up to you and they just had to let you know. That person who just has to fucking let you know. They can't just be like, I didn't enjoy that, I'm not going to see him again. No, I need to go up to this guy and be selling my fucking CDs and bullshit. At the end of the show, these people would just come up to me, not buy anything. They stood in line to tell me how much they didn't fucking enjoy me. And I always after a while, I just started seeing the humor in it. And I would agree with them. I would just start fucking with them. I do remember one time, there's a few times I have felt bad. I was in Ireland. I did this show one time. And I was talking about that haircut your wife gets at a certain point where she's sick of dealing with her hair. And she gets like that short haircut. And I go, and the next time you're banging a doggy style, you feel like you're fucking your friend Eric. So that was that was the joke, right? Mm-hmm. I thought it was a harmless joke. So at the end of the show, I'm standing there, glad-handing and doing what I have to do because I love doing stand-up in Ireland. I'm trying to build a following. So doing the meet and greet. And, I'm signing shit or whatever. And I look up and there's this woman, Irish chick, and she's got this short haircut. And she just looks at me. She just goes,
Right.
Was this the haircut you were talking about? And I didn't know what to say. I was like, no, yours look good. I hate that I didn't say that is exactly the fucking haircut I was talking about. I just felt bad because I could tell I hurt her feelings. Because as much as I'm a dick, I don't want people to feel that way. I want you to laugh at yourself. If I'm doing that, I would like you to look at me. I fucking got an orange beard and a bald head. I mean, you're going to let me get under your skin?
What made you feel that you had to be a comedian?
It's how I connected with people. I made people laugh.
No, who did you see that made you believe you had to be a comedian?
Pryor.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I remember buying my first Pryor album. I had no idea who he was. He just looked funny. And then I listened.
That must have blew your mind when he...
Yeah, and what I loved about him...
My family used to buy that shit.
Yeah. So what I loved about him was his bits were like movies. And he could do all the characters. And all of his classic bits, I have a vivid picture of what the person looks like. Like the crap game. The girl with the big ass going, kiss my ass, motherfucker. I know what she looks like, how she's dressed and all of that. And what the club looked like. Ain't no goddamn Hank. I know what the door guy looks like. The way he did it. And I've always loved any performer that can bring me into a world that I've never seen and sort of make me see it. And it was why I liked Biggie. When Patrice got that first Biggie Smalls album, and I loved, because I felt like I was watching a movie when I was listening to it. And so I think that, so getting back to it, that was why Pryor was sort of the guy. And then I bought the Eddie Murphy one, the one where he had the rose behind his ear. And I literally bought that because I was like, well, this is another black guy. That black guy was funny. He must be funny too. Literally, that's what I just thought. And I just bought that one. And then I think I got a George Carlin, that Toledo window box. And I was like, who's this guy? And his style was completely different from those guys.
Where do you get the confidence to believe that you can do this?
I'd be honest with you, it was just something I knew I could do. Everything else I had tried at that point, I could only be good at it. And I would always be watching other people really just trying to do what they did. And comedy was the only thing that as much as I learned from people, I kind of knew that in this weird way, I kind of already knew what I was doing in a way. I knew that there was a...
When you bombed and had not such successful nights, then you felt that
brutal.
you lost.
When I still had a day job, and there would be 8 days between shows, and if on the last one you bombed, I mean, that fucking set would just be going in a loop in my head when I was at work. And I remember one time oh God, I bombed so fucking bad. I was hosting a show, which is the worst. Because if you're just doing a spot, you bomb and it's over. But if you're hosting, you got to keep going back up and bomb. And they already have lost faith in you. It was like, oh, fuck this guy again, right? It was just one of these shows where it just wasn't a good show. Nobody really got him. And I walked out into the parking lot. I was trying to run because I didn't want to hear anybody talking about the show. And I got out to the parking lot as quick as I could. And there was a couple, and they were talking about the show. And I knew I shouldn't have listened. And I just heard the woman go, is it usually like that? And the guy's like, no, it's usually funny. They usually have good shows. And he goes, man, that redheaded kid sucked. And I didn't have another show for like a week. And I'm at work, and I just had that playing on a loop. Man, that redheaded kid sucked. Man, that redheaded kid sucked. And I was fucking up at work. And I didn't tell anybody that I was doing stand-up because I didn't want them. I didn't let anybody I know, my closest friends, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing it.
Doesn't that inspire you to
For
work
like 2
harder?
years because I didn't want them. It was so much pressure to just do it in front of people I didn't know. I couldn't imagine somebody I know in the fucking crowd. And one time, somebody from work, I finally told him, he came out to the show. Of course, they sat the fucking dude right in the front row, and I fucking ate it. And the whole weekend, I had to think about, I'm going to see that guy on Monday, and what's he going to say? And when I saw him, I realized his
That's
weekend...
not yawn. That's some mushrooms.
It's all right. I'm boring. His weekend was worse than mine because he had to sit there going, what in the fuck am I going to say? And he came walking. I said, hey, sorry about that. He didn't even look at me. He goes, yeah, I mean, you just didn't seem like you were into it. You didn't seem like you wanted to be up there. He just fucking walked by me. And it was weird for like 3 days. We'd be talking about games and shit. And you could see it in our eyes. We were both thinking about how I bombed.
Doesn't that inspire you to work harder and come back and crush? To kind of end that endless loop?
No, it made me want to quit the job so I didn't have to keep fucking looking at the guy.
But
No,
talking,
I knew enough at that point that it was just like, man, he just came on the wrong night because there was enough good shit happening to keep you coming back.
Yeah.
So thank God.
Yeah.
It's just during this whole interview, you don't want to show no feelings. You don't want to show and say, fuck, I feel like I bombed out. You control your feelings. You don't want to show anything, huh?
What, do you want me to start breaking down crying that I bombed
Fuck
it?
yeah. Fuck yeah. You missed the ice cold over there.
I just think we're on a different wavelength right now. We're still vibing. But you say, if I took those mushrooms right now, would I be like crying?
Possibly, yeah. You ever been challenged to a fight?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
I walked away.
Okay.
I fought until junior high, and then everybody hit puberty, and I didn't, and then that's when I got funny, because that's when like teeth started getting knocked out, and people got all bloody and shit, and it was just like, my thing of the bar fights, if you're the guy that goes down to the ground when all of that shit was going down, I was just like, no. I avoided that shit. I had other people that I hung out with that did that shit, and I was, I can be honest with you, I was envious of it.
Now, what's the difference between black and white girls?
There is no difference until you walk down the street,
Why is that?
because the people are racist. If you walk down the street with a white girl, they don't even see you. You walk down the street with a black girl, people see you. White people act like they're cool with it. Black people are a little more uninhibited. I remember in New York, they would just be like, they would literally just start yelling at my girl, just going like, oh, come on, man, really? Just pointing at me like I wasn't even there. But other than that, when you're in the fucking house, it's the same fights. You don't take me
Yeah.
anywhere. It's a woman, and you're a guy.
Yeah,
There really
jealousy,
is.
oh,
And
fuck.
and I really learned like what the bullshit of racism, what it is, and how beautiful my kids are. My kids are fucking beautiful, and like, so I feel like I have the answer to all of this racist bullshit out there. And all you have to do is look at my kids, and then look at the royal family, who've all been fucking in the same pond of white people, and how fucked up they all look. We're supposed to be all banging each other.
Yeah, but everybody's people are people, and we're all God's children, and we all need to be looked at with compassion.
All right, well, I think you got a little mushroom tinge on that, but
No, mushrooms,
I mean, the fact that you're
Mushroom
looking at the
calm
royal
me.
family going, well, people are people, and
yeah.
sometimes you got to oppress another country so you get all the gold. That's what people do.
Well, we do it in a small matter here.
You think that you do the same shit as the royal family? I don't even know what the fuck they do. I just know
No,
that.
you seem
people
like you know what they do. Tell me what
That's
you know.
part of my shit. I act like I know what I'm talking about. And
Then-
then there's one follow-up question, and it all falls to the ground. I don't know anything about them. I was trying to make a joke, and then you got all philosophical, and I didn't know what to do with it.
I just think life is like that. Even to the smallest family, our life is like the royal family. Everybody has the court, their friends. Everybody's the established power in that friendship. That's just how the world functions. You know, it's
Right.
it's some kind of law, some kind of order. I mean, subconscious order. Like right now, this subconscious
Let me ask you this.
order.
Do you think a white woman would have made that redheaded prince leave the royal family?
Excuse me?
Do you think if that redheaded dude got with a white girl, is he still in the royal family?
He would have did whatever he believed was right. Whatever his body told him love was, he would have been in the situation he is now with this black girl. This is not the first time the black blood's been in their family. You know, these guys conquered the world. They have every bloodline in their family tree. You think this girl right here? You think she's the first black bloodline? There's been black queens in the royal family.
In England?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
you need to know that.
I told you I didn't know anything about it. I was making a joke.
Yeah.
And she also claims that the intensity of the press she hadn't anticipated. That was a variable within it all, which I don't know how you wouldn't know going into the royal
Who said
family.
Can I be
that
honest
you'd
with
be
you?
under
Can I
the
be honest
micro-
with you? I don't know shit about the
Okay,
family. I
okay.
was just fucking around.
Okay.
This became all of a sudden meet the press about the fucking royal family.
Mike, what do you think about YouTubers coming in and fighting?
I think that's great for boxing. I think it brings a different and it broadens the horizons of other boxing fans that would never
Okay.
be boxing fans before.
Expands the reach, but
I
you
think-
have no problem with someone who has no background in boxing fighting a professional.
Listen, he's been fighting, so he has a background in boxing. If he's been doing it for 1 year, he has a background. 5 months, he has a background of it. You know, he's this is what he wants to do. He has what fighters have. He has determination, willpower, you know what I mean, and grit, and that's what he wants. And I don't care who you're rich or poor. That's what you need to succeed in this business. That's the seller. He's a blonde hair, blue-eyed white kid, and we're gonna kill him. And that's what he sells. He sells violence, be able to beat some blonde-haired, blue-eyed motherfucking crush. Even white people, they just want to crush him. They just look at his face and they want to fucking break it. Isn't that something? He's so special to have that. People think that's fucking bad news. He's so special to have that. That so many people want to kick his ass. He could fucking make a fortune out of it.
And he's smart too.
That's a
'cause-
gift. You know, it's a fucking gift he got. He's so lucky. Have that gift. It's the gift that somebody wants to kick your ass. Isn't that something to have that face?
How much, when you would promote a fight, like, because you're selling the fight, it's a
Yeah.
business. You want people to watch.
Absolutely.
So with you though, you had the like every fight was just amazing. So you had that, but like when you were hyping a fight, like how much of that is real, and how much of that
It's all real till after the fight.
then it's all like over.
And hey,
And did anybody
congratulations.
ever say something about you before a fight and even though you're sitting there as a professional going, okay, this guy's selling this fight, but he crossed the line and I can't let that go?
No, I was always crossing the line. But, I remember one time Larry Holmes put his hand down. I didn't shake his hand. You know, I was that kind of guy. You know, I was really dark
Right.
because I was insecure.
Oh, he didn't
So-
shake your hand after?
No, I wouldn't shake his hand. Fighters were going, I wouldn't shake their hand.
But like afterwards, it was fine.
Afterwards it was fine. But during that process of making the fight, no emotions, no friendship, no.
What about the press conference with Lennox Lewis?
What about it?
That was heavy.
I'm a heavy dude sometimes.
There you are.
You know,
Very intense and passionate.
Dude, what are you thinking? Like, you never thought, like, as you're walking down to the ring, like, what the fuck? How did I end up doing this?
On the contrary, I believe that when I'm walking in the ring, I believe I'm born to do this. I'm the purpose.
That's the difference
I believe.
right there.
I
That's
believe that
awesome.
the purpose fighting was ever created was because of me.
That's amazing. Because I would be thinking, like, I don't want to do this.
No, it's like going on stage for the biggest night. Coming like 60,000 or something coming to see you. Not that they're there.
Nothing is like
They're there to
what
see
you guys do. Because they do that a lot with comedians. They'd be like, before his special, he trained like a fighter. It's like, no, he didn't. You didn't. It's like these guys can get
Same
serious.
pain. No.
You can get seriously fucking hurt. You can die.
All right,
Like the
listen,
worst that's going to happen to me is I'll have flop sweat, dry mouth, and someone will say that redheaded kid sucked. I mean, that was the worst that can happen to you. But when you're like walking into like a gladiator into a ring, like,
All right, so really, I'm just keeping it real, right? From the desire of just somebody wanting to be something special, a comedian feeling is the equivalent of being knocked cold. A real comedian.
no, I actually get what you're saying. You relate everything.
With emotions.
Yeah. I don't know. I still, what blows my mind when I watch like UFC and there'll be a guy on the ground and the other guy's just dropping elbows. Like one elbow, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm tapping. This guy's just taking elbows and you'll see the guy look over at the clock and be like, all right, 30 more seconds of this. And then I got to go sit on that fucking stool. They're going to take that cold thing or whatever. And then I have to continue doing this. The fact that a human being is tough enough to do that. Like that. Whenever I watch those UFCs or I watch one of my favorite fights, Charlie Murphy, late great Charlie Murphy told me about this fight, that Corrales-Castillo fight.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, how many times Corrales went down, he was spitting out the mouthpiece, trying to give himself some time. And I remember he went into the corner, and his corner man goes, you better fucking get inside now. I don't even know what that means. And then he went out, and he fucking knocked the other guy out. Charlie told me, he said he woke up his whole family watching that. They were all asleep. He fucking screamed. It was like a Rocky
Charlie
fight.
comes from a fighting family, though.
Yeah, Charlie was no joke.
You know, but I'm talking about his father, his three fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come from a fighting family.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the best. He's another one. I got a pizza the other day, and the woman behind the counter had a sweatshirt on that says "Assholes Live Forever," and I was just like, I hate to tell you this because you're young. That is the truest fucking thing I've read in a long time. Because I know so many great guys, and they're just gone. And fucking assholes.
Some people don't
you can't
think
kill them.
Believe it or not, some people don't think they're assholes. And that's another life that takes on to itself.
I would argue that actually that's what makes you an asshole. Because if
Really?
somebody's an asshole and they know they're an asshole, eventually the apology's coming. But when they don't not even aware that they're an asshole, those are the people that I see that just seem to fucking, you could hit them with an 18-wheeler and they're somehow going to crawl out of it. I had an airbag.
I used to be that way as well, but I don't let people affect me as much as I used to, because now I realize if they do, they own me.
Well, you did the work.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
did the mental work. All right. Well, I got to work on that, I guess.
Well, you'll love that part of life. That's going to be when you can forgive yourself. That's beautiful. That's life lifting when you can forgive yourself.
Yeah. Surrender.
Yeah. Stop beating yourself up.
Hey, when can I do this podcast again?
Tonight. You can do it forever, man. This is a 24-hour podcast.
So
It's like,
should we wrap this up, Mike?
if you want to, we can keep you forever. But
I'm trying to think of a world where my
We
wife
like you.
goes,
We
I'm
like
going to
you."
take the kids back east to be with the family. And
You
I'm
play
like, you
through.
know what? I'm going to hang. I'm going to do Mike's podcast, and I'm going to take some shrooms.
you would really need shrooms then if your wife left you. You would really need shrooms.
No, she just went back east in that scenario. She didn't leave me. She didn't leave me, no.
Too cold right now to be going back east, huh? I don't want another winter night. I never want to live another winter night. Like New York City or nothing. I don't want to do that no more.
Oh, you live out here permanently?
Las Vegas. Las Vegas colder than New York right now. You gotta wear Sherlin in Vegas at night. Here too.
When's
You
your-
love that cigar,
When's your next
right?
gig?
So what's that cigar make you feel like? You feel like you're really cool. You're talking skid shit, and this is Okay, I'm sorry, you're talking
No, this is the only thing I got left.
No, you're talking comedian shit right now. So when's your next gig? No, I'm sorry, no, hey, people listen. Go ahead, man, ask me again.
The pressure is on. I'm going to the Palm Beach Improv, and that's going to really, Palm Beach Improv. I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm very excited. Yeah, man, it was interesting. You guys are talking about assholes, and I played an asshole for years, and one of the best ways to play a guy that you're talking about is there's certain guys, the way to play them is thinking that no one is the devil in their own story. So you can't judge one of you know this from playing guys. You can't judge
I
your
have a little more experience in acting. I'm new to acting, so yeah, I'm listening to this. Is riveting.
Well, you can't judge your characters. You don't have the same ideology as that character. You can't judge it. You embrace it. You give them as much integrity as you possibly can, because no one is the devil in their own story. And then,
So who's the hardest guy you ever had to play? Like, you're looking at the script, and you're like, how do I play this guy?
I recently was working on this role where I was going to play an Israeli dude who's a kind of a gangster, and I remember I went to the dialect coach, and I said, I really need to work on this. And she said, well, why don't you audition by sending me, you doing the Israeli accent? So I ended up doing it. It's a beautiful accent. It's an incredible accent. And that was, you throw yourself into it, and it's beautiful.
I got to learn how to do that, because everybody gives me shit. Like, when they watch the Star Wars thing, they'll be like, I never heard a Boston accent in outer space. And then I always want to say, well, what about English? Don't you think it's fucking weird that you're in a galaxy far, far away and everybody's speaking English? That wouldn't blow your mind if you went to another planet and somebody just said, hey, Mike, what's up?
Not Mike, what's up, but just understand.
Yeah, like you
who
understand what they're
I said, who
talking
the fuck
about.
are
Yeah,
you? I said, who
Chewbacca's speaking Bigfoot and Han Solo speaking English. They
Right.
never switch languages, and they totally understand each other.
They had to bust your balls. They felt like they had to.
My buddy said the funniest thing. He goes, "Oh, that's where it lost you." That's where the reality of it. So,
Yeah.
but I can't thank those guys enough. It was Jon Favreau's idea. He was just going, no. He goes, I think it's gonna work. And I was like, all right, okay, I'll do it. I remember the first day I got there, all these people I was working with were in like this crazy makeup, like looking like aliens and shit. And I just remember thinking, like, how am I gonna get into the reality of this? This is fucking nuts. But they were so good. After the first take, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting killed in this. Like, I gotta. And then after that, you kind of forgot that they were wearing costumes. And in between takes, you're talking about global warming and shit, and they're fucking wearing all this space stuff, and you just forgot it. It was truly one of the great experiences I've had in this business, getting to do something like that. And then the fact that, like, people watched it and really liked it. It was as much as last year was tough. It, like, people saying that they liked it was definitely a high point
So you think you
of my
want to
year.
do some acting?
What's that?
You want to do some acting now?
Yeah, like, I want to do. This is the weirdest thing. I want to learn to speak French, and I want to be in a French gangster movie.
Then you should do it.
Well, yeah, I got to learn how to speak French first, but.
If you want to, you will.
Mm-hmm.
I got the guy for you. Vincent Cassel. You know who Vincent Cassel is?
No.
He's one of the, probably in my opinion, the best actor over in France. Plays a lot of gangsters brilliantly.
Well, I started
Got
watching.
you. Whatever you want is right there. You don't
This
even
guy's
have to
got the
work.
connection.
Right there, dude.
You guys will get along. He's a good guy.
Right?
All right.
Anything you want, dude.
You got to see a movie he did called Irreversible.
Irreversible.
Yeah, it's heavy, 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 heavy.
I've been watching that show, Call My Agent. It's a French
Yeah.
thing, and it's like, it's it's just around the office, so it's really like sort of common language. So what I have the subtitles in French, and I just keep hitting pause, trying to like figure out what they're saying and shit. I mean, the comedy doesn't work because it goes by too quick, but
My wife hates that. I love to read.
yeah, there's people who won't do that. Like, I just want to watch a movie. I don't want to sit here reading. My thing is I'm really bad at reading, so it always goes by.
That's how I learned how to read, by reading subtitles and stuff.
I get anxiety. Like when I would go to the movies and there was like subtitles, like it would take me back to being in high school and just flunking everything. And the shit would always go by too quick, and I'd have to ask my wife, well, what did they say? She'd be at me going, shut up, because my wife can read really fast.
But it's cool seeing that people in other cultures like that and being able to immerse yourself in that.
Yeah, I've been watching the Criterion Channel. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing.
I think what's going to happen is we're going to continue talking and we're going to look up and everyone's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
You ever get that feeling?
Some
like we
people
will
have
outlast
gone or have
an
left
audience?
already. Some people have already went home, man.
All right.
Well, this has been cool, man. This has been
This is
amazing,
great.
right, Mike?
2 Cuban cigars.
Hell fucking yeah, man.
I have a whole new perspective on mushrooms. Like, I mean that in a good way. I'm not being an asshole. I'm
yeah,
like,
of course
it's-
you're not being an asshole. I would never think of you as an asshole.
Oh, all right.
But you are truly welcome back anytime. Isn't that right, Mike?
Anytime, hey,
When does
listen.
this come out so my wife doesn't think I just went to a
Oh, no,
cigar bar?
we're not filming anything. This has not been documented.
You didn't do a fucking podcast.
this
You went and
isn't
hung
a-
out with your friends.
This isn't a podcast. Bro, this is nothing. We're just hanging out. These aren't even on.
Like, hey, I said no to mushrooms 15 times. All right? I was
It's
working.
documented.
I was working.
It's got a character. Mushrooms is gonna get
Listen,
you.
I got to tell you, it's an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for all the stuff that I've watched for decades. The stuff that you've done, I still watch all of your stuff.
Thank you, brother.
Follow you on Instagram and all that. You're
Thank you.
and watching you evolve and all that has been amazing. Jeremy, you're all right, man.
Thank you, brother. Do you see
I'm
that?
fucking with you.
Yes, all right.
I love you.
Yes,
I love
all
you.
right.
I love you. Thanks for having me on.